Thank you, babe. Evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm doing a late night show tonight. I'm going to go through the match review. I hope you all enjoyed the game. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. I also wanted to say massive thank you to everybody. I hit 500. If you do want to leave a super chat, please do. Every little helps. Obviously, the more I go forward with this, the more effort I put into it, as in, give you more shows, more analysis, more guests. Let's see where it takes us. But right now, really appreciate it. I'm now a YouTube content creator of some sort now. So if you want to leave me a super chat, you can. That's kind of how it works. I don't really know, but I know that you can now. So that's good. I wanted to go through an analysis of the game. I also wanted to talk about a couple of things which have happened as well. Obviously, it's all getting a bit crazy, and we could end up signing some players, but we also could lose some players as well, which I'll cover shortly. Just give a shout out to a couple of people on the show. Evening Bear, Evening Colin. I will make you a moderator, mate. I did try today, but your name didn't come up for some reason. Evening Douglas, Evening Neil, Evening Sir, Evening Paul, Evening YNWA, Evening Bugger Boy. I think that's everyone so far. Evening Scott. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do, and I'll give you a shout out, and so will the rest of the chat as well. Evening Russell. Back off holiday. Hope it was a good holiday, mate. And I'll give you a shout out, and so will the rest of the people in the chat. Okay, so where do we begin? Oof. All right, so first of all, I want to give my deepest condolences to Sven-Goran Erikson, who passed away. Fantastic man. Felt it was a really, really good bit of humility by Liverpool to give him one of his final wishes, which was to manage Liverpool, which he did for one of the charity games. Just a class. We're just a class club, We are just so full of class to do that. So R.I.P. Sven-Goran Eriksson. I thought he was a brilliant England manager, by the way. It's a shame he wasn't looked at for Liverpool manager early on in his career. Great guy. All the best wishes to his condolences to his family. Big up Scottish. Big up IBR. Also, even a Mark. He was a good man. He was a good man. Okay, so let me Let me share my screen. Okay, so we're going to jump into a bit of the game. Okay, so we're going to jump into the bit of the game. Start off, and then we'll talk about all the other stuff. Okay, but the whole point in the show was a review show, so I'm going to do exactly what it says on the tin. I'm not going to play the goals because I might get copywritten, so I'm not going to do that. But what I will do is I'll just go over some of the real things that stood out and some incredible stats that you might not know about, but you know me, I'm probably going to tell you about them. So Arne Slot's perfect start to life in the Liverpool chair continued as the Reds opened their Anfield account for 2024 with a 2-0 win over Brentford. In the Dutchman's first competitive match in front of the Kop, Liverpool broke the Bees' resistance early doors through Luis Diaz counter-attacking goal, but offensive inspiration was otherwise in short supply. Thomas Frank's men, who showcased their own potent threat when given the chance to surge forward, often managed to snuff out Liverpool's passing moves and defend their box well, leading to a noticeably flat Anfield atmosphere. Mark Flecken and Nathan Collins were their best players by a country mile. It's really interesting that because the last game we played, two of their best players in that game were the goalkeeper and their central defender. So long may it continue. But whatever choice, where Slot had players at half time, went down a treat and the Reds began to carve open their chances. Such as an attacking resurgence eventually paid off when Mo Salah broke a personal duct by scoring in the first 2 weeks of the Premier League season. And that's a crazy stat because Mo very rarely scores in the second week. So he hasn't done that in, I think, 3 years, which is crazy. Big up, Mickey. I thought that was a crazy stat. Egyptians' effort sucked the remaining life out of the Bees. It was a brilliant goal as well. So a bit more detail. The Reds deal with a Brentford corner and Diogo Jota sprints forward to lead a 2-on-2 counter-attack. The Portuguese fires a crisp through pass to Diaz, who made a brilliant run across Brian Mbeumo, who was their furthest player back for a corner, which makes no sense whatsoever. And the Colombian fired a left-footed finish into the roof of the net. It hit the goalkeeper as well, by the way. And also, it was on Diaz's weaker foot. And we also have to give a massive kudos to the fantastic header that was won from the actual corner by Canate and the brilliant tackling by Salah to keep that ball alive. Like, this guy goes unnoticed for so much hard work he does, you know. If Salah wouldn't have contested that ball on the edge of our own box, then they could have had a goal scoring opportunity because it was with their player. But Salah got it and played it up to Jota. So much he does, that guy. I continue. A relentless period of Liverpool pressure finally pays off as the Reds double their lead through Salah, who times his run to perfection, opens up his body and delicately glides the ball into the far corner. It was such a difficult shot, by the way. Like, he had virtually any other goal to hit. The only thing he could do was curl it around the goalkeeper in the air. If you want to know how difficult that shot was, you should listen to Michael Owen's analysis on it. It's really good. Like, it's a proper striker's analysis, and he just tells you how difficult it was. However, that move was all about Dominic Szoboszlai, who showcased a brilliant strength to hold off Fabio Carvalho and to lay the ball off to Alexis McAllister, who subsequently lays off to Diaz, goes from scorer to provider. Another incredible stat is that's the first assist Diaz has given to Salah in 2.5 years at the club. That's how poor Diaz has been in production over the last 2.5 years. Like, let's just break that down. Like, how many assists has Salah given everybody else? and that's the first one he got from Diaz in 2.5 years. Just let that stat sink in, because we all sit there and we talk about the guy's got no end product. The guy had no end product because he hadn't assisted Salah in 2.5 years, who he plays with every single game. That is mental numbers. Mental. Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree. Diaz was man of the match for me. A goal and an assist, absolutely. But a goal and an assist doesn't get you man of the match if you're Salah, does it? It just doesn't. Like, he still doesn't get man of the match in games, even though he gets a goal and assist. Couple more shout outs. Big up Toxic. Big up Paul. Big up Lee. Also big up Red Armchair Supporter. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do, and I'll give you a shout out. And if you are a regular subscriber, please hit the like button. I carry on. The man of the match was Diaz. Brentford duo Flecking and Collins were absolutely sensational, by the way. On SofaScore, Flecking got the highest score. He pulled off 2 incredible saves, and that block by Collins to deny Jota point blank in front of goal was just phenomenal. Like, it just was. Anyway, more about the stats. Possession, Liverpool 62, Brentford 38. Liverpool 19 shots, Brentford 8. I don't remember Brentford hitting the target apart from the header. Shots on target, Liverpool 8, Brentford 2. Corners, Liverpool 9, Brentford 4. Liverpool foul a lot more, which I'm fine with. Mo Salah scored in the opening 2 games of the Premier League season for the first time. Isn't that a crazy stat? Luis Diaz, 76% of Luis Diaz's Premier League goals have come at Anfield. He scored 13 out of 17. This is the second season in a row that Luis Diaz has scored the first goal at Anfield. Just another stat, in case you didn't know. Highest proportion of any player with 15 plus goals for Liverpool in any competition. Obviously, we've got Manchester United next. Bit more on the game. So just a little bit here. Post-match facts. Arne Slot became the 3rd manager to win both of his first top-flight matches in charge of Liverpool, while seeing his side keep a clean sheet. After Matt McQueen in 1923 and Graham Souness in 1991. Brentford have lost all 4 of their Premier League games at Anfield on aggregate score of 9-0. Only Birmingham, 7 at Old Trafford have played particular venue more to competition without scoring. Wow, just Brentford just can't score at Anfield. Liverpool have won both of their opening 2 Premier League games season while also keeping a clean sheet for the 6th time. 2002, 2003, 2013, 2014, 2015, 16, 18, 19, and 2021, 22. Liverpool have won 3 consecutive Premier League games without conceding for the first time since May 2023. Luis Diaz has scored more. Yeah, we know that one. Mo Salah became the outright top Premier League goal scorer against Brentford, netting his 6th goal against the Bees. The Egyptian has been directly involved in 128 goals in 128 league appearances at Anfield, 93 goals and 35 assists. Can we just talk about that? 128 goals in 128 league appearances. Sorry, involved in 128 goals in 128 league appearances at Anfield. My God, that is mind-boggling. I mean, that is just mind-boggling. 93 goals and 35 assists. I mean, I don't disagree. Like, I don't disagree. These are messy numbers. Like I personally feel he could go on and maybe do more numbers if he stayed at Liverpool for a couple more years. I really do. Like I personally think he is. I mean, I've said this for a while. I said this probably a year and a half ago. Like, like I can see Salah being the greatest ever Premier League player if he stays at Liverpool. Like, I really can. I can see him breaking every record. Like, I can't see him getting to Alan Shearer, unfortunately. I think he's too far off to get to Alan Shearer's record in the Prem, but he's 32. Like, he's only just turned 32. Like, he could have another 3 seasons. Like, if he has another 3 seasons, then he could be second all-time goal scorer for Liverpool behind Ian Rush. Like, and that is mind-boggling. I mean, it really is mind-boggling. Like, I mean, it's it's incredible. Like, and he's ours. Like, you know. Anyway, Brentford's Nathan Collins blocked 6 of 6 shots in this match, the joint most on record since 2003 and 2004 by a visiting player. He was brilliant. Like, he really was great. It could have been a lot more. A little bit about the pressing, and actually no, it was the team stats. Sorry. So in general, where are the numbers? I wanted to show you these numbers. So 14 aerial duels, so 50-50 aerials, 70, pretty much similar. Like it was a battle. It was a battle. It was a game that we battled hard. We didn't win as many aerial duels, but I think the whole point in it though is like they played a lot in the air, but they didn't do a huge amount. They really didn't. Attacking wise, obviously 2 goals, 19 shots, similar to the last game. 8 shots on target, 7 block shots, which means they were on target. Like headed shots 4, shots from outside the box 2, shots from inside the box 17. This is something I really like. This is something we should be really excited about. We're not doing dumb stuff now, as in shooting from stupid angles and shooting when there's no chance of a shot. Most of our shots are inside the box. Shots accuracy, excluding block shots, 66%. It's great to see. Shooting accuracy, 42%. Key passes, 17. This is all great stuff. Like, it really is great stuff. So Mo Salah scored his 159th Premier League goal, by the way, just to let you know. 159 Premier League goal. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, so a little bit more about the game. Where are we? Oh, that's not it. So a bit more about the game. Just give you a couple of numbers. This one here, absolute bonkers stat. Liverpool completed 92% of their 602 passes versus Brentford, their highest passing accuracy in the Premier League game on record since 2003-2004. Let's just let this sink in. There are things happening at Liverpool in matches now that are records under Slot. Like, and there's people sat there whinging their ass off still about this manager. Like, we're doing things under this manager that we haven't done before. Like, and he's been with us 2 games. He's been with us 2 games, and we're ripping up records and doing things which teams aren't doing. Like, it's pretty crazy how much of an influence this guy's got on this team already. And I haven't even shown you some of the stats on bloody Gravenberch. Like, Gravenberch is playing out of his skin. Like, anyway, just a couple of numbers there, just to whet the appetite. This one here, where are we? Oh, okay, this one here. This one here. How do you like these apples? That is our passing. That is just, look at that. It's so short and sweet. 551 successful out of 602 passes. And do you know what makes me smile? Look where most of the passing is. It's in the middle of the park and the wings. I'm sorry, guys, but under Klopp, it would have all been here, around the back. The goalkeeper, defenders, the goalkeeper, defenders, back and forth, back and forth. Look at it. It's all in the middle of the park, all in places where it's influential, where we're making things happen. Good to see. It's really good to see. I think you've already seen this, but I thought I'd bring this up again. Mo Salah has now been directly in 128 goals in 128. No other player has 100 plus home goal contributions in the Premier League since he joined the Reds since 2017. Did you know that one? No other player in the Premier League since he joined. That is how good Salah is. That is how good this guy is. Just scary, scary numbers. Like, really, really. Okay, so I also wanted to show you this if you haven't seen it. This is how much of a battle this game was. In case, just to kind of make a point. This is how much of a battle it was against Brentford. Look at McAllister's neck. Look at his neck. He got torn to shreds, like, in that game. McAllister had a tough game. Like, McAllister played poorly again for the first half. Like, it feels like McAllister's kind of feeling himself into the season. But second half, he was brilliant. Dominic Szoboszlai was brilliant second half. Like, I mean, Mo was great the whole game. Diaz was great the whole game. Gravenberch was great the whole game. Canate was just a monster in that game. 4 out of 4 headed duels won in that game. Trent was brilliant again. He did. You're absolutely right. Szoboszlai got his face clawed as well, didn't he? In the thick of it, winning battles, like what we love to see. Okay, so just going to go into a bit more detail about the game. What I did want to show you is I actually wanted to show you the heat map because this is what interests me is we have this coverage now where we don't leave our centre backs completely exposed, and we also have our right back and left back relatively close to the midfield. So you have this compact position where you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players all in that area, but then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players in their area. So it's whether the team stick or twists. Like, if they want to attack you, then they're going to have to send a number of players up to make their numbers count against your compact 6. And if they do that, then they're going to leave your 4 at the front against their defense, which is obviously going to be less. So it's a tricky situation for teams to play against us because we make it like a poker game where do you stick or twist against either a Liverpool midfield and defence or a Liverpool attack? Do you see your defenders being able to cope with our 4, or do you see your attackers being able to overpower our 6? And I think it's brilliant. And what we used to do is we used to have these 2 guys up here somewhere, or him in midfield somewhere, and you just have this 2 exposed all game. And now we've got this compact system where if we lose the ball, we don't go and chase it. We regroup and let them make a decision, which is brilliant because we don't give up any big chances. Like they had one big chance and it was from a set piece. Like whoopee doo. Like Brentford are unbelievable at set pieces. Like it's their bread and butter, and we still managed to foil that chance. For me, I just thought it was a solid game, like from start to finish. Like we made it quite easy. Like if I'm honest, we made them play more defensive as well. Um, they normally have their midfielders, like they normally have a midfielder higher up in Jensen, but we kept him completely nullified and isolated. Um, so I wanted to give you a couple on the statistics. So Diaz was in the thick of it with his ground duels. He also 2 tackles, 1 goal, 1 assist. For me, he got man of the match, just ahead of Mark Flecking, who pulled off 2 sensational saves, like really did. Mo Salah with a goal, better with his passing. Also, Luis Diaz, 100% passing, by the way, 27 passes to 27 completed, which is phenomenal stuff. It really is. I mean, just look at these numbers by Canate. 96% passing, 3 out of 3 duels won, 2 out of 2 ground duels, 1 aerial duel won. Like that is a monster of a performance. Look at Trent winning his duels, ground duels. Like just we were just at it. Robbo was at it as well. Like I know Robbo did a couple of bozo moments again, but sometimes that's just Robbo. But like a crazy stat is Robbo's XG was more than the XG of Wolves in our single game, where he missed those 2 chances. Like his XG was higher than Wolves' XG in their entire game. Sorry, in Southampton's game. Sorry. Like just pick that stat out. Yeah. Um, I just like seeing all our players in 7s. Like, it's good to see. A couple of them quite close to 8s. Luis Diaz was obviously an 8. I want to give you some numbers on Ryan Gravenberch because the guy was a monster. 90 touches, 93% passing, solid with long balls, solid with dribbles. 50% of his ground duels won, clearances, tackles, interceptions. Just a brilliant game. Like really played well. Gravenberch really starting to get used to the role. Dom was obviously heavily involved as well. Came back and did a bit of right back work when Trent came in. Involved with 2 key passes. 97% passing accuracy again. All those haters saying that he can't pass. I think you need to look at the numbers. Maybe the eye test doesn't work. Jota, obviously Jota with an assist, great assist. Had 3 shots that were blocked. One of them was like I know big chances created and big chances missed, but I can't say that was a big chance missed. Like it was just a brilliant block by Nathan Collins. right on the line as well. Trent, can we just look at this as well? Isn't that where you want to see Trent? Is that not where you want to see Trent? Just dominating on the right hand side. Like none of this midfield crap. Like none of this coming into midfield every single time. Like he's becoming the best player he was in the world again now, where he influences the game more, where he's heavily involved in the game more. And Slot even said he wants him wide because he's got the best crossing ability in the world. And he wants him there to produce. And he will. And that's where we need him. It's music to my ears. Like I'm absolutely loving what I see with Liverpool. And this is the second game in a row that we haven't conceded a goal in the first half. Like it took 15 games last season. It took 15 games last season for us to not concede a goal in the first half. Like, you know, you know, maybe we don't play pretty football all the time, but I don't care. Like, I want us to win games. I want us to defend better. I want us to not concede. Because if you don't concede, you've got a better chance of winning. And this is what the other teams do. This is what your Arsenals, this is what your Manchester Cities do. They don't concede goals. So I've covered the game. I probably don't need to cover much more. I also wanted to just, a bit of kudos to our owners. They came over. I'm pretty sure they've come over because it was the first game of the season, because they always come over for the first game of the season. And I'm pretty sure they're probably going to have a conversation about, we need a load of money off you to sign players, which they're probably going to do. But they also set up an executive box for some of the families of Southport, and invited them to come to the game, and met them, and that, which is, that's, it's class. It's classy. It's what Liverpool do. We're all about class, you know. So I just want to give a bit of a kudos to that, because and condolences to the families and the Southport stabbings, which were horrendous. And here they are here. And obviously Robbie Fowler and Thompson laid a wreath at the memorial for the families, which is just a class act. It's Liverpool just doing the right thing, when it's needed. Obviously, I wanted to, show my tribute to Sven. Obviously, Liverpool did as well. Just Liverpool just being classy as usual. I also wanted to touch on this as well, and if you haven't checked him out, definitely check out Josh Williams. Big fan of his work. So we talked about transfers. We talked about the fact that we didn't make a lot of transfers, actually under Klopp as well, by the way. This was in Ian Graham's book, and I'm going to read it to you. As our team got better and better, fewer and fewer players were rated as good enough to make a difference for our first team. As a result, we stayed out of the transfer market, except on the rare occasion when a promising player was available. In a game, when the average success rate is 50%, refusing to play unless you have a good reason to can be a good synergy for success. So let me just break that down to you. So he's talking about the transfer market. The transfer market normally has a ratio of 50-50, whether the player is going to be good or not. And what Ian Graham's trying to say is Liverpool got to a stage where every player was so good that there really wasn't anyone that stood out that was going to make a difference. So they just didn't buy them, and they didn't see the point in a gambling game where it's a 50-50 whether you get a player that works or not. So what Josh is saying is maybe that's the reason for the lack of business at Liverpool in general. Like, not even just this summer, but also in summers gone by. Like, the only reason we got a midfield rebuild is because a load of them left on free transfers and a couple left because they wanted to leave because they got sold. So it's an interesting point that he brought up. I also wanted to show you this as well. The most goals at home in 2024 in the top tiers. You got MK Dons on 33, Man City and Wrexham on 31, Mansfield on 30, and Liverpool on 29. One ahead of Arsenal and Norwich. So these are the margins that we work in. The competing teams for the Prem are obviously City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, and that's how close we are. I just wanted to point that out. What else have I got? Yeah, so I'm going to go into obviously the news. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano dropped this earlier. Mamadashvili had his medical today. I've actually got pictures of him at his coming from his medical. So it's a 29.5 million pound deal with a 10% sell-on clause included. For him, great bit of business, if you ask me, and that's him coming from his medical or going to his medical. God, he's a monster, isn't he? He's so big. Like, I mean, 6'5" or 6'6". Got some player on our hands there, telling you that. Also wanted to share this one. Simon Jones of the Mail. Liverpool are discussing new signings for the last week of the transfer window. And we all know who a few of them could be. I also wanted to share this, which is by Ben Buxak. If you don't know him, you should definitely check him out as well. Really good. Gravenberch completed the most passes, 72, and won the most tackles, 3, while he was on the pitch for LFC versus Brentford. He also made the most recoveries in 8. Another great performance in the number 6 role. Absolutely agree with that. I'm just going to close a couple of my screens. Bear with me. Close that. Close that. A couple more bits that have popped up. In case you didn't know, Liverpool are interested in Castello Lubecca, who's going to cost around 38 million. I did say to you, by the way, that we might be waiting for a guy to come back from the Olympics, and he was at the Olympics with France. He's a centre-back that can play left-back. He's absolutely sensational. Like, he is a phenomenal player. Like, we're talking Canate type player when we signed him. Like, phenomenal player. 21, I think he is. Mark Gahey is liked, but we won't be going for Gahey. It also looks like Crystal Palace might be signing Joe Gomez from us. And there are some rumours that we could be looking at Eze as well. I don't disagree. What else have I got? Also got a piece on Endo. So Slot was asked about Endo. Endo's going nowhere, by the way. He also came on and played okay when he came on. Wataru Endo will be important for us, but it's not all about him. I just love Slot. He's just so cold. Like he's just like, will you stop talking about these players like there's nobody else involved? Like everybody else is involved in the team. Like he won't single-handedly single out players, which I think is a great ethos to have because it keeps a team unity and it keeps everybody singing on the same song sheet, and it means that people aren't singled out, which means they're not getting favoritism, which is something that our previous did. Like he did. Like for you to have a guy like Trent be able to do anything he wanted in games and never be called out for it, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And Hendo and Robbo, like these games, sometimes these guys were trash and they'd never be singled out. They'd always be picked for the next game. So the manager's on point there, coach is on point there. I think Endo would be a good player to keep around. Genuinely do. It's not always about him. It's about the others. Like love it. Like just love it. I love the needle. Like just shut the F up. Like and I've got to say something as well. Like we really do have to. We really do need to stop comparing this guy to the previous. Like we need to stop doing that now because if you watched the interview with Virgil van Dijk, Virgil van Dijk literally said, "It's starting to annoy me. Like, can you stop comparing Slot to Klopp? Like, it's the past. He's gone. He's left. It's history now. Like we had a great time. Like, but he's gone. Like, stop talking about this guy, comparing him to the previous guy. Like, and Virgil van Dijk's getting annoyed with it. Like, he's starting to get annoyed. You can hear him. Like, he's like, just get over it. Like, he's gone. Okay. And can we all get over it in the chat as well? Like, be as moody as you want. Like, go to a game and don't sing if you want. But you need to start backing this guy because this guy has got the minerals to make us special. Like I feel he's got the minerals to make us special. And we need to get behind him now and we need to start backing him. And it was good to see him get his name chanted out. But it was also good to see him just give the thumbs up at the end of the game. Like, cheers. Like, he doesn't need to do anything else like the other geezer. He's gone. Okay, I wanted to show you this as well because it's hilarious. So Aston Villa put the European Cup in the players' tunnel before the game against Arsenal. I just thought that was funny. Like they put their European Cup in the tunnel before the Arsenal game. Like so the Arsenal team could see their cup. Here's what you haven't won, lads. Don't you think that's class? I think that's absolutely brilliant. Like, I think that's absolutely brilliant. Just leaving that in there. There you go. I also wanted to show you this as well because I think this stat is mental. So, most Premier League hat tricks, yeah. Obviously, Sergio Aguero's got the most with 12, Alan Shearer 11, Robbie Fowler 9, Thierry Henry 8, Harry Kane 8, Michael Owen 8, Erling Haaland 7, Wayne Rooney 7. Look how many games Erling Haaland's done his 7 in. in 68 games. That is absolutely mental. That is just mental. Look at that. 68 games, 7 hat-tricks. Anyway, I think that's better than Messi, by the way. But don't quote me on it. What else have we got? I've got loads of stuff here. Hang on. Yeah, okay. So this is a new one. So Manchester City have made Mateus Nunes available for sale, and Liverpool are linked with him. 40 million will get him out of the club. Do you think that would be a good player? I mean, he was highly rated. Highly rated he was, Mateus Nunes. And he was highly rated by our scouts, by the way. Not by Jurgen, but by our scouts. You don't think so? Nunes is trash? It would be weird having two Nuneses on the pitch. I will say that. He does play that position, though. He does play that position. He plays that defensive-minded midfielder position that can orchestrate. The reason he hasn't got in the City team is because, well, they've got Rodri and they've got, Rodri's never injured. So, if Pep doesn't fancy him and sells him, then that means Pep doesn't see us as a threat. Well, Pep's never seen us as a threat now. Faldano and 8-0 class, and they were like under the age of, well, they were under the age of 20, 23, both of them, when they did that. Incredible stuff in it. Incredible stuff. Thought I might as well put this one up as well. So heavily linked, also from Fabrizio Romano, with Federico Chiesa. He's not even on the bench in their game. In their game at the weekend, he wasn't even on the bench. Do you think Chiesa is a good squad option, like backup to Salah? I think Mateus Nunes could be good as well. By the way, he's only 24. I think he could be good toxic. I really do. I really do. I think he's better than Curtis Jones in that position. I think he wouldn't have a problem going into that position. I don't think he would. Yeah, I think Gravenberch is better right now, but as a backup to Gravenberch, Nunes would be all right. He's a great squad option. He's a good player. He's not a shit player, by the way. like Pep Guardiola doesn't sign crap players. He signs good players. Chiesa, he's not injured. Chiesa's not injured right now. If we get Chiesa for about 15 million, then I think it's an absolute bargain. He's only 27, by the way. He's not old. So that's from Fabrizio. Exclusive. Liverpool make initial approach for Chiesa as a possible option. Final days. Chiesa is available on the market. Juventus want to find a solution. Liverpool exploring conditions of the deal as Chiesa would be keen on a Premier League move. Could happen. I'd be all for it. 13 million for Chiesa. That's just a bargain. I'm sorry. That's just great business. And he's a good player. We can all sit here and talk about his injuries, and that's fine. You can all talk about his injuries. He had a couple of bad injuries. That doesn't mean he's injury prone. He had some horrendous injuries. I think he had ligaments and hamstring injuries. Also, Quinton Timber is a player that we're heavily linked with as well. Slot might go back into the might go back to his old club and get him. Very versatile. I think he scored 8 goals last season for him. He's a good player. Yeah, he had ACL injuries. Loads of people have had ACL injuries. Doesn't mean they're injury prone. Doesn't mean they're injury prone. They're ACLs. Like, they're down to smashing knees and stuff. If we could get 20 games out of Chiesa and he cost us 13 million quid, I'm all for it. I'm all for Salah having some decent backup. I'm all for it. You're also working. I mean, you're also working with a manager now that has a coaching team that's all about injuries, all about making sure players don't play when they're not supposed to. Hence why Trent came off early. Hence why Salah came off early. Yeah, I know. I think he's a bargain, absolute bargain, and he's a big name player. Like, he could win a game on his own. Like, he's won loads of trophies. Like, he's a winner. Like, I'm all for it. I'm all for Chiesa as an option on the right. I'm all for it. Obviously, there's been stuff about Aston Villa and Newcastle approaching for Gomez, but it looks like Crystal Palace are the ones who've actually made a move. I think Gomez will go, like, unfortunately, but I also think we're going to sign a centre back. We're also linked with Mohamed Simikin, who's another Leipzig defender, but I think we'll go for Lubeka, who's the left-sided defender. He hasn't played a huge amount of games for them, by the way, which is why I think he'd be a good choice because he could be a player that doesn't expect to play all the time. But this guy's highly rated as well. He played 42 games for them last season, 3 goals, 4 assists, French international. He's a good player. I thought I'd also show you this as well from Ornstein. We all love Ornstein. Liverpool aim to bolster Arne Slot side by signing a new number 6 before the summer transfer window shuts. LFC pursuing midfield, not currently playing in the Premier League position, viewed as a market priority at Anfield. That plus more on the other clubs. So all I want to say is he knows who it is. He knows who it is because he's done the same thing again where he said, actually, this is August the 6th. This is old. Sorry. This is the tweet that he did before we got Zubimendi. So they're reposting old stuff. So them saying Liverpool are eyeing 2 transfers, that's bully because that was from the 6th. So ignore that. Apologies. I should have proofread that better. I didn't. I should have proofread that better. My bad. I think I've just closed the screen. 2 secs. Actually, I don't think I've got anything else. Oh, actually, I have. Sorry. I have got something else to cover. 2 seconds. Let me just reshare my screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the latest Liverpool Echo update. So I'm going to share the latest Liverpool Echo update, which I'm going to refresh right this minute. Okay, so Chiesa shrewd move. Mamadashvili's done. So that's actually done now. Why is that? Sorry, I've got to close some more windows. that. Got to close that. Going to close that. Yep. Okay. Right. So. Okay. So Mamardashvili's done. Obviously, I talked to you about what Slot said about Endo. Yeah, Mamardashvili's done. 30 million deal, 29.5 million. I can give you the updates on that. This one's brand new, by the way. Tyler Morton, by Leverkusen on loan, which is an interesting one. So they're looking at taking him on loan. I think that'd be a good loan, by the way. We're interested in Chiesa. Chiesa's like training with the reserves, which is crazy. Sancho is potentially going to Chelsea, which is interesting, or Barcelona, by the way. If he goes to Barcelona, then that means they won't be looking at Chiesa. Obviously, we're looking at Simakan. There's rumours that a £51 million transfer has been agreed, but I don't believe that. We're also looking at Adrian Truffert as a replacement for Andy Robinson, which I told you about, by the way. Paris Saint-Germain are keen on him as well, by the way. Obviously, we've made contacts. Yeah, Tar's probably not going to go to Bayern Munich, but he might go to Barcelona, which means that Bayer Leverkusen won't be selling a defender then. I'm not even going to talk about that. We'd be quoted over 100 million for Kvaratskhelia, so I can't see that happening. I can't see Anthony Gordon happening either. Sorry, just can't. I don't care about Ox. Like, he was garbage. He was garbage for us for a long time. Yeah, Valencia got a sell-on clause. Working on potential deals. That's from the Mail. I've already showed you that. Lewis Kumas having a great loan, which is good to see. Scoring goals on his debut. On his second game. Michael Owen thinks we should go for Jared Bowen. It cost us a fortune, like an insane amount of money. Oh, so we'll pay 25 million plus 5 million and then 4 million add-ons. Great move. I think that is everything, and obviously the Sven stuff. Calvin Harris turned up as well for the Liverpool game. Just thought I'd show you that as well. Obviously I showed you that. Third kit's coming out tomorrow. Third kit is coming out tomorrow. Working on new players. Ex-players left, moved to another club, don't really care, not my problem. Obviously, Virgil said I'm very calm. Said he's there for the manager. I did want to talk about this before I go. For me, it's a storm in a teacup. Like if Trent gets taken off the pitch and he's smiling and he's happy, I'd be more pissed off about that. Why a player's happy about being subbed. The fact that he's got needle and he doesn't want to come off, I love it. But I also love the fact that our coach went and sat next to him and explained to him, "I'm taking you off, mate, because I'm protecting you, because I want you fresh for the Manchester United game." Like, I'm fine with it. Like, Trent hasn't had a pre-season, by the way. Let's just make that clear. Like, Trent hasn't had a pre-season, and the manager taking Salah off is great, because I want Salah to be rested more. I want Jota to be rested more. Like, these guys who score goals, who are vitally important to us, need to be rested more. And I want that. Like, if the game's done at 2-0, take Salah off, take Jota off. Like, we've got plenty of options in Cody Gakpo and Darwin Núñez to come off the bench. Who might I say Darwin Núñez was dreadful again, but it is what it is. And also got in the way for a Gakpo sitter for him to score. But it is what it is. But you know, let's just not look into this too much, and let's not think Trent having a moody face means that he's not going to sign a new contract. Like, it's bullshit. Like, Trent signs a new contract if he wants to stay at the club. If he doesn't want to stay at the club, then he doesn't sign a new contract, and he suffers the consequences from the Liverpool fan base because they'll hate him. They will. They won't let him go on this. This isn't one that will get swept under the carpet. He's one of our own. Like, Steve McManaman was an Everton supporter. Michael Owen was an Everton supporter. Like, they could leave the club. They could leave the club. Like, they weren't one of ours. They weren't a fan. Like, he's a fan, and he's always wanted to be a Liverpool captain. Well, he'll blow that if he moves to Real Madrid on a free transfer. He'll blow it. So, for me, we get Trent, we get Virgil, and we get Salah signed up on new deals. We do. And if we have to break the wage structure, we have to break the wage structure. But we will, because these guys need to be signed up, and they will, because it was clearly stated at the start of the season, if players were going into their last 12 months of their contract and they hadn't signed, they would be sold. And not one of these guys has been made available for transfer. So that just shows me that they'll be moving. They won't be moving. They'll be getting new contracts. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Jamie's show's about to start, I think. Let me just double check. I thought he was doing a show tonight. Okay, Jamie's doing a show at 12:30. Okay, I'll tell you what, I can hang on for another half an hour. Are you all right with my mug for another half hour? Let me know in the chat. Are you all right with my mug for another half hour? And we'll go through player ratings. Are you okay with my mug for another half hour? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no? Oh, cool. Okay. Let me give a couple of shout outs anyway to some new people. Oh God, I've got loads here. Hang on. Okay, so Evening Truth in Plain Sight, Evening John, Evening Songs 4K. Ooh. Can't bring Evening Songs 4K. Evening Malcolm. Evening Gary. Good to see you, mate. Anyone else who's new? Oh, Evening Forever LFC. Love the name. Evening Pay for Toll or Pay the Toll. Any more newbies? Oh, Evening Mr. Sky Blue. Also, I will mention it as well. If you want to be the first person to do a super chat, you can do, because I'm now available. So if you want to leave me a super chat and be the first person, please do. It'd be interesting to see what you write. But yeah, if you want to be the first super chat of my channel, then it's available. So I thought I'd let you know. And if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do. And if you haven't subscribed, if you are a subscriber, please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Let me give you a rundown on the team. Okay, so all right. So this was the team. This was the team that played. And we'll do. Oh, massive thanks, Neil. Thanks for the super chat. And there's your message. Big up KMack. Thank you. Thanks, Andrew. Good to have you as a subscriber. I think Everton will probably sell their soul before they sell us Branthwaite. I think they'll probably sell their soul to the devil before they sell us their star defender, who's probably going to bail them out of relegation this season. But we'll see what happens. I honestly don't know who will sign, if we'll sign anyone. I just don't know. Like none of us expected Zubamendi, and it came out of the blue. So none of us expected Manamadashvili, and it came out of the blue. So I think we'll just wait, and who knows? It could be one of those transfer windows where we actually sit there and watch Sky Sports for the whole of the day, because I haven't watched one of them for ages, because we've never been included. Whenever it's gone to the guy from Liverpool, he looks behind him and all the lights are switched off, and it's like, is there any point? Like, there's no one at home. So we'll see what happens. Oh, massive thanks, Colin. Thanks for the super chat. Okay, so let's give a bit of a ratings. So let's see how we go with these ratings. So what we'll start off with Robbo today. So what did we think of Robbo? How are we rating him out of 10? What do you think out of 10 for Robbo? In the chat, what do you reckon? I thought Robbo was probably a 7. I mean, the fact that he got 2 really big chances is good. He wasn't at fault for anything. Like, there was no big chances that came from his side. I thought he was a 7. I'm not going to give stupid numbers on my show. I just won't. You think he's an 8, 7? I'm not going to do 0.5s either. That's just pointless. 7, 6s, a couple of 6s. That 5. That's a bit harsh. Like I'm Robbo's critic as well, but I'm gonna go for 7. I'm gonna go for 7 for Robbo. Big Virgil, what do you think? 7 again. Didn't do anything in particular. Like never ripped up any trees. Wasn't massively involved in the defending. He didn't do any blocks that saved us goals. I thought he was just a solid 7 as well. What have you got there? Guess SofaScore and Opta stats. Yeah, Robbo got a 7.6, mate, on SofaScore, which is why I'm giving him 7. Pocketed and Bramo, he did. Like he looked poor. Like, and Wissa didn't get a sniff either. Like, they were just outmuscled. Like, they're short guys. I think they're like 5'6", 5'7", and they're basically playing up against like 6-foot monsters. Like, 6'4", 6'2", 6'4" players. Like, they were never going to have much joy. I'm going to give them a 7. Canate. What do you think of Canate? Won all his duels, won all his aerials, 97% passing, heavily involved in the goal, in the goal that we scored, because he won the header. Yeah, I'm thinking of an 8 as well. Actually, I'm thinking of an 8. I thought he was brilliant. Over 70% of his passes were forward, to forward positions, which is good. There's a lot of talk about Konate saying that he's not going to be able to play in a slot system because he doesn't pass the ball well or forward much. Well, he has. So I think that could be incorrect. I think maybe he was being played differently previously under another manager, and now Slot's like saying to him, look, you can kind of do more of what you're natural at. Maybe I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was brilliant. Trent, what do we think of Trent? I thought Trent defensively was really good. By the way, thought he had it. I think the last 2 games is probably the best I've seen Trent defending in over 2 years. Like I'm not joking. Like he looks really good defensively, Trent. He's looked all over the place for so long because he's been asked to do a million jobs. Like, so you're giving him a 7. You're giving him a 6 because of his attitude. That's a fair point. You know what? I was going to give him an 8, but I'll give him a 7 because of his attitude as well. There you go. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a 7 as well. McAllister. How do we rate McAllister? He had a good second half, but he had a poor first half. So does his second half give him a higher score, or does he just get a 6? Because I feel like he was probably just a 6 for me. 7. He deducted the point for spitting out his dummy. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I did as well. The dreadlocks stunted his progress. There's something which is going around as well, which got talked about. It was by Jan Molby actually. That there was some kind of gym session that everybody was doing to make themselves really lean, and it's actually hindered them. It's made them less combative on the ball because of it, because they've got too much upper body strength and not enough core strength, which we basically told all our players to stop going to the gym, like stop doing extra gym work. So that's been stopped by the management. As soon as Slot came in, he stopped all the players from doing extra gym work because it's making them less combative, which I think is interesting. So you're giving him he was class second half. He was class second half. So we're giving him a 7. Are we giving him a 7? Okay. All right. I'll bow to the masses and I'll give him a 7. Okay. What about Gravenberch? What do you think of Gravenberch? For me, if Diaz didn't get an assist as well, I think I'd probably give Grav a 9. He was absolutely brilliant throughout the game. Like, he really was. Like, first half, yet again, he seems to be the guy who's kind of holding the midfield together. Like, he seems to be the glue. Really played well. It's early knockings as well, like in his number 6 career at Liverpool. So he can only get better. Like, yeah, Mulby was a tank. Mulby scored some brilliant goals as well. Like, it's so funny listening to him. He's got a Scouse accent now. 8. You know what? I'm not getting ahead of myself, like, but I'm watching him in midfield now. He's looking like Vieira. He's looking like Vieira. Like, he's bossing the ball. His legs are everywhere. It's sticking with him. He's not losing possession. He's breaking at pace and going past players from midfield. Like, he just needs some goal. Like, if you get some goals this season, like, he's really an all-rounder. I'm really impressed with him. Yeah, I know. It probably is a push. Like, it's fair enough. I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to give him an 8. I'm not doing point fives, so I'm going to give him an 8. Okay, we'll look at Dom next. Dom had a pretty average first half, pretty much like McAllister as well. But second half, he was great, really good second half. Passing's been sensational this season, which is great. I'm going to give him a 7. Should we skip past this and go quite quick? 7. Yep, 7. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go for a 7 as well. Not 007. 7. I mean, he could be 007 in a suit, couldn't he? What about Salah? Absolutely sensational again. What do you think about Salah? I mean, he didn't. He just didn't misplace the ball. He got 97% pass ratio. Russell, the eye test doesn't work with Dom. Like, he passes the ball to players. Like, the passes he must have misplaced and must have been the only ones you've seen, and it was 2 of them. I think it's really harsh. Yeah, I think he's been a monster. Body strength's incredible in it. Just shoving players off the ball. I thought he was a 9 as well. Expected Ellie to come on. Yeah, he did run himself to the ground. You're not wrong. Elliot came on for Salah. I know. I'm going to give him a 9 as well. I'm going to give him a 9 as well. I thought he was brilliant. Diaz. I mean, what can you say? Like, 27 passes, 27 completed. Won 80% of his duels as an attacker. Got a goal, got an assist. Really creative, heavily involved in play. Can't believe that's his first assist for Salah in 2.5 years. That is mental. Another really good game. Last game, he got pelters, but I thought he worked really hard in the last game. But I thought this game he was great. Seems to have a knack of scoring in the first game at Anfield. He did it last year as well. Long may he continue. The guy's now coming into his prime. He's 27. I think he's more comfortable working under Slot, and I can see a real improvement. I'm not going to give him a 10, but I'm going to give him a 9, and he'll get man of the match for me. Jota, what do we think of Jota? I thought Jota had another great game, really involved. Could have got a goal, should have got a goal, but it was just a brilliant block by Collins. Created 2 big chances. Didn't miss any big chances. Obviously missed that big chance last game, but he obviously scored. Great assist. I think Jota is now the number 9 for Liverpool. Like, I think he's got the shirt. I mean, I do cringe when he goes in for. I do like grimace when he goes in for tackles, because you just never know with Jota. But his build-up play, he's so involved in the structure. Plays a great false 9, makes great runs, versatile, plays all over the park. Very rarely misplaces passes. Very rarely hits shots wide. I'd say an 8. I'm giving him an 8. A lot of people have said 8 anyway. Yeah, I think it was. I don't disagree. I think it was his best game for Liverpool. I'm not going to actually cover the subs because they didn't actually do anything. like there's no. I mean, I suppose I could talk about Capco because he had that blistering shot which hit the crossbar from a block. Trent also had a shot that hit the crossbar as well. By the way, we hit the woodwork twice. Two fantastic blocks by their defenders, which was probably Nathan Collins because he seems to be in front of everything, which hit the crossbar. Yeah, it was just a great game. Like just loads of chances. Second half, it does look like we are going to be a second half based attacking team. Like we might nick a goal in the first half in games, but second half we will definitely be on top and create more. Bradley looked really good as well. Like Bradley's really looked anything under a 7. Like, you know, Bradley gets a 7 for me. Hapko gets a 7. Elliot, I'm not really going to give him a score. Endo, I'm not going to give him a score. Nunez, I'm not going to give him a score either because they didn't really do anything at all. Very rarely touched the ball. Yeah, I think onwards and upwards really. Yeah, so thanks everyone for staying on for the player ratings. Jamie's show is about to start in a couple of minutes, so if you go on to view Jamie's show, if you can just type in the chat KMack raid, that'll be good, so he knows that you're coming from here. And you have a did I rate Becker? I didn't rate him, did I? Did he do anything? 7. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7 as well. No, I didn't rate him. The thing about it as well, Malcolm, is like no wonder Ali wants to stay. Like he has to do like 20% of his work now because we play so much more better defensively. He doesn't have to pull off world-class saves every single game. Like he has to do a couple of things in games now. Like no wonder he wants to stay. Slots rating. Ooh. I'll probably give him an 8. I don't want to get too carried away. I'll probably give him an 8. I give him an 8 against Ipswich and an 8 against Brentford. Also, I'll probably give Slot a 9 for his Jamie Carragher comment. Did you watch that when Jamie Carragher was just waffling onto him, and the Sky Sports presenter said, come over here, stop talking to him," and he turned around and said, "Does anyone ever listen to him?" Carragher was like, "Oh my god, that's going to be a meme." Like, I thought that was a 9 out of 10 for me. Absolutely roasted Carragher. I know, he ruined him. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, good to see you today. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate the 2 super chats from today from Neil and also from Colin. Really appreciate that. And if you go on to Jamie's show, just write in KMack raid, and I will catch you up again in a couple of days when I probably do some news and hopefully I talk about some players that we've signed. But that's all for me, and I'll catch you up in a couple of days. Enjoy your evenings. I'm out of here.